Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video, I wanted to give you guys a 1 week update on the Whole30. I believe today we are actually on day 8. Yeah, we're on day 8 today. So we have officially been doing the Whole30 for a whole week. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on how it's going, the good, the bad, all of it. First, let's talk about like how we felt the first few days. And I say me, my husband has pretty much felt fine. But for me, the first few days were really, really rough. I felt kind of sick. My body just felt really tired. I was very, very bloated. Sorry if this is a TMI, but I was also really constipated. And which you would think, you're eating so many vegetables. But anyways, I took notes so that I didn't forget anything, but I was cranky, I was sleepy, I was hungry. I felt, I don't know, I did not feel good. I felt bad. And I knew that I would. They tell you in the book that you're going to feel bad. So I knew that I was going to feel bad. But yeah, I did. I felt really bad. I also had pain in my joints. My sister had told me a couple days in that she was having pain in her joints. And I was like, that's weird. Why? And she told me that it's something to do with the detox of the sugar and carbs and everything. It gives you joint pain. And I thought, oh, well, that's weird. And literally 2 days later, I woke up and my knees hurt really bad. And I had a hard time. When I walked, like my knees they hurt. Tons and tons of cravings. Everything looked delicious. Things that normally I wouldn't have wanted or reached for or overate all of a sudden looked amazing and delicious. And I felt really hungry all the time, even though I was eating a ton of food. I was feeling really hungry all the time. There were definitely moments where I was like, I can see why people just quit doing this because this is hard. But at the same time, it also made me think, gosh, if my body's going through these kinds of really intense symptoms, then I must really be super sugar addicted and carb addicted if I'm having this kind of a detox. So I knew I needed to keep going, but it was really, really hard. That's kind of how I felt for pretty much the entire week. Within the last day or two, I've noticed my bloating has gone down some. I'm starting to feel less bloated. I'm definitely feeling full and fuller longer. And when I eat my dinner, I don't feel like I need a snack in the evening or I feel really full after my meals. I'm finally like in the last 2 days getting to that place where I feel like satisfied with what I've eaten and don't really have too much of a desire to eat again until the next meal. Hopefully that will keep up because snacking has been one of my big downfalls in the past and where I make really bad food choices is with snacking. So doing less snacking is a good thing. And I'm not sick of eggs yet. I pretty much eat eggs every morning for breakfast and I'm not sick of them. I really like eggs. So hopefully next week's update won't be like, I hate eggs. But right now I still like the eggs. I was able to find some sugar-free bacon at Whole Foods. It's expensive, so we've used that very sparingly. It's not like I sit around thinking, oh my gosh, I really want jelly beans right now. Like that's not really happening so much anymore. It was difficult. My husband brought home some leftover pastries from work. Why, I don't know. He says he brought them home for the kids. But so he brought home 2 of these giant cinnamon rolls and blueberry muffins, which are like my favorite. And last night, my daughter, who's been sick, wanted me to bring her a cinnamon roll. And so I had to take it out of the package, pick it up, and put it on the plate. And I just I just wanted to like stuff my face into it. It was so soft. It looked so delicious. Oh, that was hard. Things like that, in those situations, I normally would have picked it up, put it on the plate, and then licked my fingers because they were sticky. But now I have to like go wash my hands. And the other day I gave the kids a chocolate cupcake because we had some left over from my birthday. And I gave the kids a chocolate cupcake and I couldn't lick the frosting off my fingers. I just had to go rinse it down the sink. And I just like stood there like crying, rinsing the chocolate frosting off my fingers. Not fun. Also drinking less coffee. I used to literally drink 6 or more cups of coffee a day. Now I usually drink 1 in the morning, and then I might have 1 in the afternoon, and that's about it. I used to drink coffee in the evening as well. I've tried to stop doing that. So I'm having 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day, which is much more reasonable, I think. And I know a lot of people cut coffee out, and I'll just add this little caveat in there. I love coffee. It is it is an experience. It's not just a drink to me. I love coffee and everything that goes with coffee. So I have no intentions of ever cutting coffee out of my life. There is no diet. There is nothing that I would ever follow that said you couldn't have coffee anymore, because I also want to enjoy my life, and coffee is something I very much enjoy. Oh, so the other good thing is that obviously we're not eating out, which is saving us some money in that regard. And it's nice because when my husband leaves work, even if I'm really tired, the temptation to say, just stop and pick up Chinese food, or just stop and grab a bag of burgers, or just whatever. Like, I can't do that. I know that I have to cook. There isn't an option for him to just stop and get us something to eat. Like, I have to cook something. The other thing is, I think I already mentioned this. Sorry, I'm just kind of going down my notes, but that I'm not snacking as much. I think I already said that. I'm feeling pretty full from my meals. So, and if I do feel snacky, what I have been having is either a banana with a little bit of cashew butter drizzled on top, or an apple with a little bit of cashew butter, or I have some dried fruit from Costco, and it is Whole30 approved. The other good thing is that obviously, I think I mentioned to you guys before, on the Whole30 you are not supposed to weigh yourself or take your measurements or do anything like that during the process. You do it before and after, but not during the process. So that's actually been really good for me mentally, as someone who struggles a lot with scales and what number says and what I think it should say and why doesn't it say this, and I hate the scale sometimes. So it's actually been really good for me and really liberating, like, to just be eating full meals and then not jumping on the scale in the morning and having it dictate how I feel about myself that day. So I've really enjoyed having it put up, and I think I will probably, once we're done with the Whole30, I'm probably keep it put up and try to only weigh myself maybe once a month or something. I don't know, we'll see. But so far I'm liking not having it there, making me feel bad. Two of the hard things that I did want to mention, because I feel like it matters and it makes a difference, and it is something that I wasn't totally prepared for, is because of how much you're cooking, and you really have to cook all of your meals, there isn't a prepackaged option. So I'm cooking 3 meals a day, every single day. So that in and of itself is a little bit like, when you're not used to that. If you're used to being able to grab something out of the pantry and throw it down and make it quick like that, having to sit down and actually cook, well, not sit down, but having to go in the kitchen and actually cook every single meal is a little bit daunting. Sometimes I say these things, and as they come out, I'm like, in my head, I'm also saying #first world problems. I realize, like, 100 years ago, if you didn't cook your meals every single day, you weren't eating. So I take that with a grain of salt, that it's not a complaint. It's just a, like, FYI. It does, when you're not used to it, it can be a little bit like, to get up and cook again, I feel like I just cooked. And with the cooking comes the cleaning. So I'm doing dishes, I'm already busy with 4 kids. So I'm now doing dishes 3 times a day and cooking 3 times a day. So there really isn't a, like, oh, kick my feet up and let's just grab something out tonight so mom gets a break. There isn't a break. So that is a little bit of a challenge for sure. And then the other challenge would be the cost. You would think if you're eating, meats and vegetables and fruits, that it wouldn't be that expensive, but it's been kind of expensive, because we typically only serve maybe 3 or 4 dinners a week that are with meat. We typically do something that is like a total carb, like a pasta dish. We'll do breakfast for dinner, which, yes, usually we do have some bacon or sausage with that, but it's not the main course. It's like a side. So that has been a little bit challenging because pretty much all of our kids are eating this way too. I mean, they do have treats when we don't, but they're eating what we eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we are going through a ton of eggs. I buy the 7.5 dozen eggs at Costco. And I just went back to Costco today and had to buy more meat, more asparagus, more fruits. I feel like we're spending more than we normally do on groceries, which is okay for this 30 days. When it's over, I definitely want to try to figure out how we can keep up more of a Whole30 lifestyle, but maybe cut back a little bit on the cost. That is our update for the end of week 1. We feel like we're finally kind of coming out of the icky and starting to get into the feeling better. So I'm really anxious to see what this second week brings and how we feel. And yeah, I feel like now I can try maybe to get a little more creative with our meals. We're definitely not starving. We're eating tons of food, and the food is really good, so not complaining there. But yeah, so that is our week 1 Whole30 update, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.